Hey everybody, welcome to the Weird Kids Podcast, episode number 4. See what happens when we do this over again, Jeff? I fuck up.
They sound similar in Japanese, I'm sure. Don't worry about it.
We're going to be talking today, episode number 4. Today with us we have Carl, we have Jordan, we have Phil, we have Jeff, we have Kristian.
All fresh glass of lemonade.
Kristian, I think, is in here as well. I'm not sure if he's going to be in the podcast or not. He could just be in here listening to us, plotting.
Which would be creepy.
Planning. For all I know, Kristian's pretty much just sitting in the corner watching us.
Which he does.
Which he does from time to time.
Lies.
But today we got a good show for you guys. We're going to be talking about Fallout 4. We're going to be talking about what we want to see from the PlayStation Sony conference tomorrow.
Would it be fine if I took a minute to elaborate on why we have a good show?
Do you want to elaborate? Why?
Because over the past 3 days, we've gotten roughly a metric crapload of news in and outside of the gaming sphere, and as a bi-weekly podcast, this is pretty great, because I could get an hour from just out of what has happened the last 3 days.
Yes. Very nice, very nice.
I mean, I know a way to get Kristian involved.
Don't
Stop. You do it.
Stop right here.
Does
All
it
right.
involve a pentagram?
But we are going to be talking about Fallout
is.
4. We're going to be talking about Battlefront's DLC because it just came out. I know Jeff wants to talk a little about Just Cause 3, and I know I want to get into a little bit of a conversation about the technical issues on Just Cause 3, as well as Project M's discontinuation if we have the time. And if you guys don't know, Project M is a mod for Super Smash Bros. Brawl that has recently stopped getting updates for a reason which we will go into hopefully towards the end of the podcast. Evan should be here and he knows a little bit more about it than I do. So let's get started, guys. All right, so what did you like about Fallout 4?
Of all the two people who played it in this call.
Okay.
I like that it got spoiled 2 weeks early on a Spanish-speaking website.
Oh,
Yep.
Really? Really?
Yep.
Bro, oh my god.
The entire story got spoiled by leaks before it came out.
I have a question. Can one of you two send me the what the spoiler is, personally, so I can verify whether that's true or bullshit?
I am not a big
like
Fallout.
Spanish?
I am not a big Fallout guy. I will say that. I know we'll get a
Same
lot of
here.
flack for it, but I recently read an article about a guy who said yes to all the drugs in Fallout 4.
Oh, yeah.
I don't do drugs, kids, but when it comes to drugs in Fallout, I'd say yes. Because this guy had a grand old time. This guy combined Jet, Superjet, Psycho. He just went absolutely ham and ended up... His character looks absolutely awful after doing all this. He looks like he's been through the ringer, dude.
Yeah, I've never been too big on Fallout. I've liked it, but I mean, I've been playing a spot of Fallout 4. I mean, did you see that, Wang? Stuff like that. But I mean, I've actually heartily enjoyed it thus far. I haven't gotten super far, but I've had fun with it.
Alright.
So,
All right. Let me delve a bit
I don't want to know
deeper.
the spoiler.
The So,
Yeah.
Fallout 4. As you know, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas came before that, and that was the real step that Bethesda took into 3D first-person shooter Fallout RPG. And like the last two games were good. They each built up upon each other. But the jump from Fallout New Vegas to Fallout 4 was incredibly drastic, in my opinion.
The jump in how so? Engine quality?
Yeah, engine quality and gameplay overall. Like,
Okay.
honestly, like the old Fallout games felt slow. Like,
Sure.
and moving through molasses, this gun gameplay feels also pretty slow. But what they made action feel a bit more intense in Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that that it wasn't that aiming was a lot better than using VATS in this game, to be honest.
Yeah,
I only
yeah.
heard that from a
yeah.
couple of people. And since I haven't played Fallout 4, the only reason I really would like to pick it up is because of the drug story. So if I get it, a good percentage of me is just going to be dying of drug overdoses and whatnot.
Yeah, having also not played, I feel like that's a good case for the game if there is one, honestly, because like as one of the premier AAA RPGs, I feel like it really captures what a good RPG video game is all about.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure I showed you guys the One Punch Man in Fallout 4 too.
Yes, oh my god.
That kind of creative freedom. Not just like Minecraft freedom where I'm going to put a house here. Great. I'm going to put some beds here and then it's freaking the bed hives.
Yep.
And the settlements. Do you guys... Well, anyway, like...
I've dug pretty deep into the settlements. It's weird to grasp on at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward.
Complete and total freedom in and out of game via the mods. That also being said, you've got the platform distributor breathing down every modder's neck, being like, "Hey, you know what you should do? You should allow this to be a paid mod."
Yeah,
I haven't heard that about Fallout 4.
They're still trying to push it.
I can't believe...
Like, with every major game that has mods in it,
But
be it Skyrim, like, I've heard rumors about Fallout 4, them trying to do it with it.
Bethesda never liked the idea of, hey, you have to pay for this fun-ass shit in your game.
Yeah, they don't like it, but Valve is still trying to push for it.
Well, Valve is a completely different...
And that's why Bethesda doesn't use it. Most commonly hasn't used the Steam Workshop. They only had the Steam Workshop for Skyrim,
Mm-hmm.
not Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, or Fallout 4.
Hopefully that doesn't become the case in the future, because if for some reason it does happen in the future, I would be very disappointed that people that love the game enough to make and create content for it are also greedy enough to make the fan base of that game pay for it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Let me give it to you from a content creator's perspective.
Okay.
I've created games before, like game jams, all that sort of thing. I've been in the middle of it, and everything we do is for free, obviously. Now, if someone were to come along and be like, "Yeah, okay, since you made this like on my engine or if Unity came along and be like, "Okay, I see this game you made, we're gonna sell it because you made it in our engine," and I'm just gonna be like, "Well, your terms of services say that like I can make it for like educational reasons or for just like fair rights." They're like, "Well, we're still gonna sell it and we're gonna make money off of it."
Isn't the answer to that to use Source?
What, the Source engine?
Isn't Source like, I could be completely wrong, but I just have a feeling it's like the freest engine in terms of that sort of thing?
The point I'm getting across is from the developer standpoint, not just from the buyer standpoint or from like the major developer standpoint, but for someone who's just making something as like an add-on or as like a little game for the game or within it, it's a slap to the face not only to the big name developer, but also to the little guy. Because they're like, "We're going to make money off of this because you made it, and you're not going to really get anything."
Yeah, I can see how that would be the biggest problem.
I tend to agree with that. And I don't know. I would probably be more upset if I was worried, but just sort of knowing a limited amount of people I know who are pretty mod crazy, especially towards these Bethesda games, and knowing how much they attract that community, I'm not super worried about it changing drastically.
Yeah, I know. Bethesda mod community is crazy. It's only a matter of time before Fallout 4 is at least even with the Left 4 Dead 2 map community or whatever, and then it's going to get higher and higher.
Yeah. Left for Minecraft by Bethesda. That's basically the mod gods.
The mod gods.
What if
mod.
make Minecraft but no R cube?
Minecraft, but no what?
What if make Minecraft or no R cube?
Oh, that's funny, and it's pretty much true.
I forget where I ever saw that. It was in a YouTube video.
All right.
But yeah, like I was saying about Fallout 4, and just yeah, it was buggy at the beginning. Like I've seen floating Yao Guai in the air and
yeah.
humans shooting up into the air after I kill them, which is hilarious.
That almost goes without saying. They don't have the best track record of load checks on release.
Yeah, no game has has a good track record of no bugs on
Sure.
release.
Yeah, like, especially open world games like that.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
especially open world games.
I think the one exception is Nintendo on that for the most part.
I mean, it's not like they have game developers going on records answering questions stating, "Excuse me, sir, is it a bug or is it a feature?" Yes.
It's hilarious seeing
No, it's
people
fine.
shoot up into the air after you kill them.
Oh man.
Glitches and bugs are typically fun until it affects gameplay.
Yeah, and if it's game breaking, then that's when I have a problem.
Like when I was playing Fallout 4, I got stuck on a pile of chairs, and thankfully I was playing on PC, so I was able to toggle no clip. But you can't do that on console versions.
Yeah.
So if somebody else had done that, they would have lost all of their save data up to the last save before that.
Oh yeah.
Microsoft, give us a developer console. Sony, give us a dev console.
Doesn't the PS4 have like a something you can use for like a keypad?
They
Isn't that like an option? Like you can bring up a window on the PS4 and then type whatever you fucking want.
To an extent, yeah.
They could kind of do something like that.
It wouldn't be too it may drive up the price of consoles probably by $50 or $75.
You really think
But I
that
would
much?
adding in
new
either
software?
hardware or software. Hardware is going to drive it up probably to $100, but if they just add in a new software feature to it, up the memory a little bit so it can withstand it, then I would totally pay for something like that. On a PS4 console, add-on on the market or something that gave you a developer console where you could glitch your mess your way out of a game.
Yeah.
And when you open it in game, it won't let you record achievement progress or shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that though. That's not a console specific thing. That's by the game itself. That has nothing to do with the console side of things. That is all about being programmed into the game.
I don't follow.
See, developer console in games, the only reason games have it is because they put it in the PC version.
Oh yeah.
That's not on the console.
Yeah,
That wouldn't be a console feature.
I see what you mean now.
They would have to go in and add it, not take really, it's just not taking it out of the game when they port it to consoles.
I mean, you could argue it is part of the console control panel.
No, no, not a developer console in the way of Fallout 4. That's
so
all
just to clarify, if this kind of thing went through, would it be roughly as easy to do console commands from a PS3 or from an Xbox as it would from a PC?
Granted,
As
I
long as you
think
have a way to type.
Granted, I think it'd be a little bit more difficult just because, on the PS3, there's no keyboard in front of you. It's sort of just like keyboard software. You have to go. It's like typing a message on the Xbox.
Yeah, I guess I meant more difficult, finding what you want to change.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, I
know.
don't think it'd be that hard, but I'm open to shit like that.
Sure.
Honestly, it would be pretty much exactly the same as it would be on PC. Literally the same, just a different way of typing.
Okay.
And
Speaking
entering.
of being
and
open
enter
to stuff,
command.
I want to change to something real quick. We can
Yeah,
talk about
let's
this
segue.
really quickly. I didn't mention it when we were talking before the podcast, but the Steam machine. Anybody want to talk a little bit about that?
God.
Oh, I can talk about that some.
All right.
Give me your thoughts and opinions. What you think it's gonna do and what how you feel it's gonna be.
Welcome to
The
December
fact-
Trigger.
Alright.
Trigger.
Carl.
Well,
Carl, I
The
wanna-
fact that they're wanting us to pay, what is it, like about
Like $600 to like.
yeah, about $600 to $700 for an i5 core machine only designed to play video games. Thanks, but no thanks. I would rather take something of higher grade than that for like roughly the same price that can do more than just play games.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's the thing. With the Steam machine, it's going after a different demographic. All right? So we're not the target demographic. We already play on PC. So we will disagree with it because we already have what we want.
Yeah, it's true. I
This,
never thought about that.
they're
way.
aiming at people... Yeah. Think about this. They're going for people who want something to just hook up to their TV and they can play games on.
Mm-hmm.
This
But-
is a market where PC does not have any kind of footprint.
It's almost exclusive to itself, if that makes sense, because the way you're describing it is almost like they're trying to wrestle with Sony and Microsoft in the console market.
Mhm.
But anybody
That
who
is
has
exactly what they're doing.
sure, but anybody who has Steam is going to be, from my opinion, anyone who has an understanding of Steam and is savvy about Steam is going to be savvy enough to continue being a PC gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Yeah, that's exactly. That's people. That's what they. That
You
they
see,
already have those.
They are
people, though.
definitely going
They're
after
trying
a
to
different.
put their toe in a different market.
Yeah.
I would agree to that extent, Jeff, but the fact that they are doing no advertising for this, aside from places where only PC gamers and PC people would look.
that's a really good point.
That is a really good point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
basically
I
that,
can't,
like,
the
market
only
it better.
place I've ever seen marketing for the Steam machine is A, on the Steam fucking, like, client,
Yeah.
right.
B, on Kotaku, which, like...
No,
for-
that's fine. Keep going.
Like, Kotaku itself, not the best place
Yeah,
to
you don't wanna-
advertise something, but is also only a place where PC and online people venture, because I can't tell you how many friends I have who are console gamers who don't know shit for dick about these online gaming journalisms. If they don't read it in Game Informer or Nintendo Power, they don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Would be a really good
Here's
place
this
to
though.
drop something like that.
What's
Here's
up, Jeff?
This, though. Also, it's not up to Steam to sell the it's not up to Valve. Valve's not the one selling it. It's the companies who are actually producing it. So it should be Alienware selling it. While those companies aren't really throwing their all at it, that's not Valve's fault. Valve was trying to get into that demographic, but the advertising isn't Valve's fault. It's not up to them to sell the hardware that's produced by a separate company.
So it's up to the
But
people that are
they're-
producing the hardware to sell it. Is what you're
But
saying,
they
right?
Exactly.
they are still behind it. They are the driving force behind the Steam machine.
Yes,
So-
they're the driving force, but
Saying
they're
that
not
they
the ones
shouldn't-
doing the actual production.
Just
Yeah, they
because
may not
someone
be the
doesn't-
ones doing the actual production, but they're still the ones that are pushing this product.
Indirectly, they still have the responsibility to find some hardware, I guess manufacturers you're saying who have a good idea on how to get it out to a good, strong, large audience.
Yeah,
I mean-
that's why they struck deals with companies like Alienware.
Yeah.
That's like saying, if I can go into, just insert something here real quick. That's like saying Sony, as the film company Sony Pictures,
All right.
goes to Ironclad Studios,
Okay.
which is a major modeling and effects studio out in California. They go to Sony's making a new movie. Sony's making the new fucking Amazing Spider-Man 64. So they go to Ironclad to help with the effects, help with the models that they're going to be using in their movie. By that logic, Ironclad should be the ones advertising it.
No, it's the
and
other
not
way around,
Sony.
really. That's the other way around, really. Steam's making the software, while the companies are making the hardware and doing the actual selling. So that's actually you should really be rotating that around. Therefore, Sony's the one making the product, selling it. Therefore, Sony should be the one promoting it, as they would be.
That's what I'm saying. Is Sony's going to be putting out this product, and Sony's going to be doing this, but they're let me put it in the sense. Sony is Valve in this sense.
Okay.
Valve is going to a PC production like Alienware to get this done because they don't have the tools to do it.
All right, I follow.
I would say it's in this case, it's more like the studio had the idea and went to Sony. It's more like that kind of process, which still happens, and it's more like that kind of process. It's not so much Sony going to them; it's them going to Sony. Therefore, it's you see what I mean?
I just need to clarify on this real quick. From what we know, are you going to be allowed to buy the Steam machine through Steam itself? Or, order it?
You can order it through Steam. Well, not all of them, though. Some of them.
Okay.
I mean,
some
yeah,
of them
you can order.
You can order it through Steam. I've also been to a GameStop in where I live, and they are also selling it there, which blew my mind because they don't have any advertising, so I haven't seen it on television or anything like that. The only advertising that I've seen for the game is inside GameStop on the TVs. And, besides posters. Like, they'll play an ad, like, you know how they play ads in the GameStop, like, stores on the television, and that's where it'll be. I've seen no advertisement on YouTube. I've seen no advertisement on television. No radio advertisements. Not even, like, when I listen to Spotify, no advertisements about that either. But I'm just saying.
But at the same time, it's multiple companies at the same time.
You think that, but you think that these companies would have enough money to, at least push for better advertising, right?
Like, it's not the company's fault in this sense. It is still Valve's fault because
I really don't think so.
It is like in the basis sense of it, a company is creating something but doesn't have the
resources
to do it, so they go to another company or another production house to get it done. That's what Valve is doing with the machine. They themselves don't have the technical prowess to make the Steam machine, and they're the ones with the idea to make it. So they go to another company to have them make it, but they're still the IP owner. It's still their job to send out all the information about it, to promote the hell out of it, to get the sales of it.
All right, then in that
Steam
sense...
Machine, it wasn't so much they went to companies. It's more like, look, we have this idea. If you guys want to make things, and companies signed up. It's like, all right, we'll make one, and it was more like that. It was more like, would you like to do this? We have this. Would you like to do this? That's why there's so many companies.
But
if they were asking companies specifically, the way you're saying, then there would only be one company.
There's no difference.
So much, like I said.
There's no difference there.
Here's another way to think about this. It's to think about with Windows. Microsoft doesn't go like, "Hey, look at this operating system we have. Make computers for us." It's not like that. You don't see Microsoft going out and saying, "Hey, look at this Dell computer. You should totally buy."
Again,
this is more analogous to it as well.
All right, guys. Well, I just wanted to jump onto a little bit. I want to see everybody's opinion about it because I know definitely that people aren't feeling it, and some people. I was interested. The only reason I'm interested in it is I want to know if it's going to be a cheaper alternative to a gaming PC. I personally don't think that it might, because you can honestly build a PC, a game rig for like $600 better than that. Mm-hmm. But
exactly.
it's easy. Mm-hmm. It's an easy step into gaming, like quote unquote gaming PC dumb. You can kind of quote me on it. I don't know how to really phrase it, but it's that first step into the out of the console. It's the first step out of the console vein and then into the PC pool. You know what I mean?
Or also, like I said, it's a console for PC games. That's basically what it is.
All right, so let's hop on down to the next topic.
Sure.
All right. Let's Jeff. I know you want to talk about Just Cause 3.
Just Cause 3 dropped this week.
All I have to say is Doge mode.
Doge mode.
Okay. Care to elaborate?
So yeah, Just Cause 3 dropped this week. I've been hyping it up for months because I love the Just Cause series. I've been talking about it. Everyone was freaking out about Fallout 4. I was in the back, just huddling in the corner, muttering Just Cause 3 to myself. But it came out. It's for a AAA title that's as big as it is, it dropped with a lot of issues.
Yeah.
So mostly graphical. Like, it's almost too much for modern consoles. Like, it's like they were trying to do too much. See, like, I have the PC version. Mine was especially buggy because it tends to not load properly on AMD graphics cards with the current AMD drivers. I've heard that it works much better with the beta drivers, the current beta drivers. So, like, I was doing one of the starting missions. I was parachuting forward, and there was just a few like triangles floating in the air where a wall was supposed to be forming, and it slowly loaded in. So I mean, I wasn't having it as bad as other people. Let's say so. There was just triangles floating everywhere because that's where a fucking mountain was, but like it was slowly loaded in, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Had a lot of graphical bugs. Thing is, though, it's also a massive game. It's one of the biggest games of all time. I think it's not the largest game to date.
Right.
It's very ambitious.
Isn't it like a square kilometer or something?
Oh, it's way bigger than that. It's a few hundred square kilometers.
Oh, really?
I remember they were dropping a number.
Put it up to the
Yeah,
Daggerfall test.
Daggerfall
The
test?
what?
What's the
Oh,
Daggerfall
1,000
test?
square kilometers. That's a little different.
Yeah, look up Daggerfall, Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. Just look that up, Jordan.
Sure. So, I was also a big fan of Just Cause 2, but I mean, probably if things aligned a different way, I might have even gotten this on release. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. I don't have much of an opinion either way right now.
The problem I have with Just Cause 3 having this many problems with on launch is that we don't want what happened with Unity, Assassin's Creed Unity, to happen again.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Alright, so it wasn't... See, with Just Cause 3, though, they're already working on patches. Like I said, it's not as common with different drivers on the PC version. I haven't played the console version. I haven't seen gameplay of the console version. But on the PC version, on mine, I barely meet the minimum specs for it, and mine was still perfectly playable.
Huh. No frame rate bugs or anything like that?
There were some slight frame rate bugs, but it didn't hinder the gameplay.
Alright.
The game
Question,
still
did
played
the
at
frame
proper
rate ever
speed.
drop to 0?
0?
No, it never dropped to 0, not once. The
So
game
you had a
did not
really good
freeze.
steady frame rate. Wow.
It wasn't super
Yeah.
steady, it was fluctuating. Yeah, I'll say it was fluctuating,
Alright.
but
That's fair.
like I said, it wasn't horribly awful. It was mostly just with it was having trouble loading terrain properly to an extent. But like I said, it wasn't like it still let me know where it was at least on mine. I'm running. I think the minimum recommended is like one graphics card below mine. I have like an R5 270.
Okay.
And I'll probably have less issues too. But I mean,
Oh.
I'll report back on this next podcast. See if what kind of things change between now and then.
Alright.
Alright.
All right.
And Just Cause 3 is over 1,000 square kilometers too.
Yeah, sorry. I caught myself on that. 1,000 square kilometers. With over 1,000, okay. Well, they dropped that number, so that's an impressive.
You see, I understand, like, Just Cause 3 isn't really the game for me. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just sort of, it takes itself too seriously when I find it to be too silly. And it's sort of, I don't know. I put it in that same category as Saints Row, and it's not the same category as GTA for some reason for me. Like,
It's evolved into that. Just Cause 1 was a much more serious game, and Just Cause 2 like kind of started the trend towards the silliness.
yeah, it started becoming more of a like a zany action movie-esque game where it's over the top for the sake of being over the top.
Honestly, I actually enjoy that. I find it's a lot of fun.
That's what I noticed.
Incredibly satisfying.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Like, Jeff will gravitate towards those types of games more because he enjoys them more. I just can't. I don't understand why I can't get into them. Like Saints Row, I have to find things fun to do in order. I have to like come up with like genius ideas to have fun in that game.
I guess
Let me tell you though.
Is that no? Hold on. Sorry, I just need to say this one thing. It's a sandbox game, and if you're in a sandbox and awesome things aren't happening around you because you have to build your own sandcastle, do you really have like that? Is that a point against it?
I like to have things that are happening. I find, like, if I...
Do you need some shovels and pails in the sandbox? Is that what you need?
I do think I need some shovels and pails in the sandbox.
All right.
Because...
like, the thing...
I can't... Like, I'm perfectly fine with sandbox games. It's just a little bit tougher for me to get into them. It's just, you know, it's one of those things that, like, I'm different towards it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Something you
one
got
of
to
the
think
things that
about
I was reading in reviews about Just Cause 3 is that if it weren't for the fact that you have so many ways to go about, then it would get quite boring. But there are so many ways of getting around, of doing any kind of thing, that you can get creative, and that's where it shines.
I felt that way about Just Cause 2.
Yeah, and I just took that and rammed it up to 11. I can say that I actually really, that is exactly my kind of playing style.
Are we good on that, or do we have anything else to say about that?
Any closing notes about Just Cause 3, gentlemen?
Get the Doge mode
I'll
achievement.
save it for the rapid review.
One last comment.
Yeah.
If your game's buggier than Bethesda's on launch, I think you have a problem.
All right. On that note,
Anybody? All right. So let's hop to let's talk about the PlayStation or Sony conference. What we want to see. Yo, what's going on, guys in the chat? I see you. What do you guys want to see at the PlayStation Sony conference? What would you like to see, and what do you expect to see?
Hideo Kojima.
I heard,
oh god,
dude. If he comes in, that would be hilarious. Just have the lights go all black, and then just have the lights come back on, and he's there on the stage.
Okay, that's really funny, actually.
What if he's just there in the background the entire time?
What I would like to see,
just with his arms crossed.
What would you like to see, Scott?
All right, I want to see, and I'm going to say this, and Austin's not here to rib on me for this, but I want to see Silent Hills. I know it's not going to happen, but in my fucked up mind, I think that this is all like a ploy, a ploy to say, like Silent Hills was a game that was about loss, or PT was about loss, in that sense that you're a guy who killed his wife. Your pregnant wife, and then now you are forced to suffer the consequences, i.e. Silent Hill. PT wander around these fucking hallways forever. I thought, how cool would it be if Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro are like, you know what? Let's have Hideo get fired from his job or whatever. I know this is fucking crazy, but let's just say it does happen. He gets fired from his job, lost there. The game project gets lost again. It's over again. That could be like, you know, a bit of a comparison to the baby being lost, the game's PT Silent Hills, and you having to go over and over again in the hallways. Or just us hoping for Silent Hills.
This is a hell of a conspiracy theory,
right? Put your tinfoil hats on, gentlemen.
At least you
helicopters.
At least you know what's going on. That's funny.
Yeah.
Right.
My tinfoil hat is on.
For me, I honestly, I'm really hoping for two things. One, I'm hoping the Ratchet and Crank game gets a freaking release date.
Oh my god, yes. Yes.
Yep.
And the second one is a Spyro reboot.
Yeah, Punky just said that.
That's what Punky was talking about.
Punky was talking about that. He said,
yeah.
please Spyro reboot, but not the ugly Spyro one, normal one.
Yes, normal Spyro,
You guys don't know what I want to see?
What's going on, Mitchell? I see you in the chat.
What's up?
I want to see Sony All Stars Battle Royale 2.
Shut the fuck
Electric
up.
Boogaloo?
Never,
Shut
never
the
happened.
fuck up.
Go to.
I mean, okay, since we're going into the realm of things that'll never happen, I want a frickin' Legends of Dragoon 2.
All right. Okay.
I want to
And
talk
then-
about
All right. All right.
We're
Let me
at the
break it
wrap
up
for
into 3
2016.
categories for everyone then. Let's break it up into 3 categories for everybody.
Oh, really? Okay.
What you want to see, what you expect to see, and what do you want to see that you know will not happen?
I just want to talk
I'll
about
go
one thing.
first.
Go ahead.
I want to see backwards compatibility with the PS3 and PS1 on the PS4.
Oh, that's never happened for sure.
They,
This
actually,
turned into a game show.
they're already working on. Actually, they're already working on PS2 backwards compatibility.
They're not.
That's already
No,
been
they're not.
announced.
They're working on PlayStation Now
It's limited.
compatibility.
No, they are working on PS2. They really are. I read an article on it the other day.
Where's
Yeah,
that article from?
talking
they've
about?
announced this week that this like compatibility thing they've been talking about is going to be with the PlayStation Now, which is
Yeah,
sad.
but they
but
already announced the PS2 before that. Like they confirmed that before that.
they can confirm something
Like
before and
people
then
found the
change it.
code.
I would like to see a new Mega Man game.
That
That's
wasn't-
Sony?
That would be great.
I also got my my things what I want to see.
I have to jump
Like
in
a-
here before I'm drowned out and just talk about one thing that's actually happening, and I'm about 90% sure we'll see.
All right.
Is I probably the one like PS4 game that I really appreciated in recent months as somebody who really has almost never played any Sony console games. I really liked Until Dawn, probably most out of all of us.
Yeah.
So they're doing this VR, not really a DLC, but like a spin-off game, Until Dawn: Rush of Blood.
Really?
I don't remember if it's Oculus or not. It might be Oculus. It's definitely some kind of VR set. So I'm interested to see what happens with that.
Speaking
It might
of
be on the. That reminds me. There's Sony has a VR project. I forget
Oh.
what it was called though.
Project Morpheus, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds like Oculus, but it's not.
All right. Honestly, I've rarely played Sony consoles ever.
my first. All right. So, what I want to see. All right. What I expect to see at the conference is just a bunch of new tech, updates that are coming to the PSN store, stuff like that. I'm hopeful that maybe they'll announce like a Crash game, maybe even like not Jack and Daxter, but maybe like a Daxter game.
Did you know that The Last of Us was actually originally, when they first started working on it, they'd originally set out to do Jack and Daxter, but then they realized that they didn't want to ruin it by bringing it to HD.
Really?
And
That's
yeah,
what I read
I
back
would
in
like
the
to
day.
see maybe a Crash game. A Crash game would be pretty interesting to see him brought forth into this generation.
Okay.
Hopefully not
Because
done in the
I don't-
same way that Banjo and Kazooie fucking Nuts and Bolts was done.
No, don't. We don't talk about that ever.
Hopefully not in that same vein.
Lego cars!
The thing about Crash is I don't think Sony has Crash anymore. I think Crash is not
It's-
under their
It's in
umbrella
copyright.
anymore.
It's in trademark limbo.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
It's kind of weird.
Not like that, please. Not like this.
Not like this.
Not like this. Carl, what do you want to see?
I want to see. Honestly, I want to see a wider pool of PlayStation Now games other than the cult unreprimanded or whatever the fuck they said it was, games coming to PlayStation Now. Because I know they're bringing Dark Cloud. I know they're bringing, God, what was it? It's not Skies of Arcadia, but it's something along those lines.
I have never played Dark Cloud, and I need to do that.
It's a really good game.
I've heard. It's
And
very
what
good.
I expect to see is, like I said, I expect them to give a release date to a bunch of games that are going to be that are currently in limbo, that are going to be released next year.
Wait, let me stop
Like,
you right there. Speaking of
Persona
Limbo,
5?
maybe Last Guardian, will we get some more news, maybe some shit
Oh,
about it?
God, So
You don't think so?
I hope so.
I hope so, too.
I'm okay. Like I expect Last Guardian and Ratchet and Clank info.
Okay.
I've been reading the not Skype chat, the
Steam?
Twitch chat, and
Twitch.
they're talking about Uncharted on here.
I know
Sure.
Punky wants to see a new SOCOM game. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's SOCOM. But I never really played Sony. But what I'd like to see is once again Ratchet and Clank, because that was my shit back in the day.
Mhm.
And unrealistically, Hideo Kojima.
Just have like a bunch of cherubs just flying down from the heavens.
Oh, and
Right,
we
and,
will see more information about Final Fantasy VII, like Punky said.
Yes, we will.
Honestly, though-
I have a feeling we will definitely see more information about FF7.
Alright, and
The thing
alright, here.
What's
about
up, Jordan?
what you're asking for is that it's a stealth mission, so Hideo can't be seen.
Oh God.
No,
So
I'd
what were you
like to
saying,
finally
Jeff?
get to finish.
But no,
I'd like to finish my list since I only got to say what I expected.
Say that again,
I still
Jeff.
haven't gotten to say what I would like to finish my list since I only got to finish my expected and not the other two.
All right.
What I want to see, which I probably have to agree with Crash. I would like to see Jack and Daxter, but I really, honestly, don't see that happening. It's highly unlikely for either of them. Actually, that should be my what I want but don't expect, because and what I actually kind of would expect though, I could definitely see another Sly Cooper game in the works.
Oh my
They
God,
just came out
dude,
one a couple years back.
bro, I would love a new Sly Cooper game.
I
I
mean,
might
the
have to
movie-
get.
The movie's coming out next year.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're
Oh,
making a
God.
They're
movie.
doing a movie.
tie-in.
I would probably buy this. This is how much I love Sly Cooper. I would probably put the money down. I would. The only reason I'd get a PS4, the only reason I was planning on getting a PS4 was Silent Hills. But now, if there's going to be a new Sly Cooper game, that's going to be there.
You don't love it as much as Max, Scott.
Tie-in Sly Cooper game by Platinum for the PS4, and then everybody just
God.
Craigasms.
I don't know. Platinum's not been on a good streak recently.
Sly Cooper,
Alright.
the movie, the video game. That's what I
Like-
expect.
Exactly. All right, I feel like we're repeating ourselves a little bit, so maybe we can move along.
Yeah, let's
All
move
right.
along. All right.
These are not the droids you were looking for. Move along.
Yeah, speaking of that, Battlefront. The Battlefront DLC got released.
Is it going to make Boba Fett less OP?
Probably.
Good.
All right. I remember Jordan sending me that.
Battlefront, and I loved it.
All right,
All
the
right.
DLC. Destructoid saying
very
that
unpopular
it was a
opinion.
free DLC. I wonder. We should get Kristian here and ask him. Did he download the DLC?
I think it
Can
was
we just
the
go back?
Say again.
Finish what you're saying, Phil.
fuck. The DLC is the map from the new planet,
Jakku,
No.
I'm guessing.
Jakku.
And what I was going to say was, can we just stop calling it free DLC and just go back to calling it an update
Yeah,
to the game?
it is more of an
That's
update.
fair.
It's free. Mitchell's waiting
Basically,
for
just by
trigger
calling
face.
it free DLC is just a way of making the word DLC more friendly. That's
Yeah.
really all it is.
It's like a euphemism.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
just an update to a game.
Yeah, it is.
So, like, that's because I mean, it's not like the term free DLC existed before like the last year either.
So
Long ago
the
in a distant land.
so the
Jakku.
Jakku DLC, is it just one map?
I'm not sure what it is exactly.
Because from what I'm seeing so far, they're showcasing a lot of just this one map. And if that's the case, then it's definitely just an update. There's no way that they should
Yeah.
be putting the word DLC in front of it.
I mean, it might add like a
A new mode, you think?
not a new mode. The
2 free maps is what it just said. 2 free maps.
Okay.
So, the one that they're showcasing thus far looks like Tatooine. It could just be Jakku, what they called it, whatever.
So it's as much of a DLC as like Splatoon DLC.
Yeah.
All right.
From what I gather. The writer here says it's not that fun. I can only imagine what the trek is like without a jump pack to speed things up. Even on the Empire side, it's a similar story. You're just jogging only with the intention to defend the map. Alright, so I cannot If this came out to be a DLC, if this was actually a DLC, and I will gladly say that, you can fight me to the death. If this was actually a DLC, I would not pay for this. For 2 maps, that's not worth it. That's not worth my money. It's not even worth my time. If you're gonna be offering me content, you gotta offer me content, like good content. You can't just. It's like going to McDonald's, asking for a cheeseburger or a Big Mac. You open the Big Mac container and there's half a Big Mac there. Like, all right, well, where's the rest of it?
Is that what it is? It's 2 free maps. It's like getting a Big Mac and then getting like half a thing of fries after you're done with the Big Mac.
The thing
you
about
didn't
it
even
is,
order fries.
Oh yeah,
Exactly. You don't. If you don't want the fries, you could throw them away. You don't need to play on the maps.
it's true. I'm just saying that if you were to pay for it, I'd want more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If this came out and it was like $15, I'd say no, fuck you. You're out of your mind. I'm not gonna pay $15 for 2 maps.
Yeah.
Also, before we get, are we done talking about the DLC here?
I guess so.
All right, so I want to talk. So the people in the chat, Punky and Mitchell, are blowing up right now. Samurai
Project
Jack.
M.
Samurai
Project
Jack.
M laid waste to pave the road for
Project M
Yeah.
died for our sins.
Yeah.
And
All right.
Samurai Jack
Before we
got
get
going.
into that, before we get into the Project M nonsense,
It
I want
happened
to
on
talk.
the same day. That's why.
All right. Samurai
All right.
Jack's coming back. I'm not sure if you guys like that show. I really enjoyed Samurai Jack.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Oh, good.
On Adult Swim. Oh my
Have you
goodness.
Have you ever seen Symbionic Titan? Because that's like,
Yes.
all right, just the one. That's like the last show by this guy Tartakovsky who did Samurai Jack.
Really?
It
I haven't seen the
also
trailer
wasn't
yet.
finished because he's a fucking genius and Cartoon Network hates him. But I have a lot of respect for Tartakovsky. Like a lot.
We will watch.
I-
I'm gonna watch the Samurai Jack trailer for a quick second. How long is it? It's 6 seconds. I haven't
It's so
seen it yet.
good.
I
all
have
right,
not
you
seen it
take
yet.
your time doing that.
All right, so guys, just count to 10 and I'll be done.
1,
Count to 6
2.
tenths of 10.
3.
Freaking.
Oh, that's a short
All right.
trailer. All right, well, it's better than nothing, I guess. It was just him
an
showing the
announcement.
sword.
I mean, yeah.
I'm pretty hyped for it. I like Samurai Jack a lot when I was a kid. Punky says, "Y'all are cool. Don't go to the stream tomorrow."
Oh Christ! I can't think of any way this revival of a cartoon that we love and are nostalgic about could go wrong. I can't. There's no way it could happen.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, Project M. Carl,
That's-
do you
it's
want
a
to
sad
open up
day
about
for,
Project M?
It died for our sins.
It died for its ends.
Other than the fact that it died for our sins and paved the way for the Samurai Jack opening, Project M is if you all know about Super Smash Brothers, because I know we all talk about it a lot, or at least me, Scott, and Evan do. Smash Bros. Melee was an amazing game. It was not meant for competitive play, but it blew up in the competitive scene. And that's like something that was really amazing about it. Now, fast forward a couple years, we get Brawl, which was made specifically to not be like Melee.
Yep.
Well, you can't stop modders from doing anything. Modders got their hands on the source file for Brawl and basically made Melee 2, which is why it's named Project M. So what it does is it takes all of the characters in Brawl, speeds them up, and changes up their movesets like a bit to make it to where it would make sense in Melee, like the Melee style game.
Uh-huh.
What was wrong with Brawl versus Melee is that everyone was slowed down. You had the trip mechanic.
Right.
Crying
Like,
internally.
oh, let
Yeah,
me
opinions
tell
are
you
clear on
about
that one.
that trip mechanic.
Opinions are clear on
Crapload.
that. Yeah. And
But
then
And that's what Project M got rid of. It got rid of the random tripping. It sped everyone up, and it brought. Oh yeah, another thing. It took away wave dashing.
Yeah.
So Project M came along and fixed all those problems, and voila, we have Melee 2, which was completely unsupported by Nintendo for obvious reasons.
Because they already made Melee.
But
I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
been getting constant updates basically since I think it was a couple months after Brawl released. It's been getting constant updates, constant like twerks and ad additions and everything like that. And sadly, as of I think what was it, Tuesday?
I
It's either
guess.
Tuesday or Wednesday. They finally announced that Project M was no longer going to be getting any more updates, and that
It was actually 3 years after Brawl came out.
To the day.
Not for
details.
the day.
Anyway, the creators came on and said it's been a good run, but they're going to stop updating it.
The reason,
Yeah.
from what I understand, this is a screenshot of a thread on Reddit that is on V. So take this with a
Yeah.
grain of salt. Take this with a grain of salt.
I see it.
Evan also told me what happened.
Yeah.
That
It's pretty cut and dry.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense, but you know, I'm gonna talk about what leads into it afterwards. So
Sure.
Square Enix was like, "Hey guys, you can represent Cloud in Smash 4. We're totally okay with that, but we can't really trust you for him to be in this game if you don't do something about Project M, which they are stealing characters and you guys are doing nothing about. So for us to really be able to trust you guys, you gotta put you have to put these guys on hold. You need to stop them what they're doing right now. It's unethical. I don't understand how you've done it for so long, and just just turn your shoulder to it."
That's not exactly the same as what I heard, but that's interesting.
What did you hear?
Yeah.
I heard it was a lot more on Nintendo's side, basically.
Tell me what you heard, Jordan.
Well, no, I don't remember it well enough to kind
Alright.
of like. You could just keep going.
All right. Well, this is what I'm going to read from the V thing. Whenever Square Enix gave Nintendo Cloud as their IP, Square Enix was like, quote, "Hey Nintendo, we want you to represent Cloud in Smash 4, but we don't feel as if we can trust you with our IP. You can't even protect your own points at Project M." End quote. Nintendo might have avoided the lawsuit for as long as possible, and they were directly forced to do so in order for Smash 4 to grow. That's one of the points that this anon made. The second point is that we will find out in the Smash-related Nintendo Direct coming up sometime this month. My guess on this one is that Knuckles or Isaac won the character vote contest, and they will likely had to shut us down as a result due to the direct competition and or more issues with IPs. Which makes sense. It does make sense.
Yeah.
But again, it's very shitty that this has gone on for so long and just unchecked. Because if I were doing this for so long, I'd be like, all right, I guess, well, they're kind of fine with it. They're kind of fine with it, but they're, you know what I mean? Like, they don't want to tell anybody they're okay with it.
Yeah. It's false hope, and that is kind of shitty. But it's just how the dice roll,
That is
basically.
That is it.
And I mean, going outside a little bit, Knuckles and Smash would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I have to say, I'd be totally down for Isaac from Golden Sun.
Oh yeah, Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been my vote.
I voted for Isaac.
Yep. I actually voted for Rayman.
Really.
Yeah, Rayman's actually already in the game as a trophy.
Huh.
I also want Chibi Robo.
Chibi Robo, as we know.
I think we talked about this a little bit. Yeah, that's funny.
What
Yeah,
do
he
you
could
think
clean
about the
the
situation, Carl, of Project M?
Like, I can understand it. Nintendo doesn't, like... They have a really good rep of being very lenient when it comes to illegal downloads and add-ons and mods and...
Up until that
Just
Let's
like-
Play bit.
Yeah, and stuff and everything. The Let's Play, like, scandal let's call it, is what really started setting them off about, okay, we really need to start protecting our IPs. Because the Let's Play scandal sparked the ROM hack and the, what am I looking for? Emulator,
Yeah, I was going to say emulation.
debacle.
Right.
And then it all just comes to a close with Project M. Because, like, if you don't know, ROM hacks and emulations are for Nintendo products, are very hard to come by nowadays. Because Nintendo's been going to every popular emulation site and ROM hack website, being like, hey, this is our IP, you need to let it go, or we'll be forced to take legal action.
Yeah.
Like, at least, like, to my knowledge, like, this thing they've sent cool ROMs and stuff like that, they were nice enough to send them messages beforehand.
Yeah.
Like, Nintendo was not a bad group of guys. I could name another company who is, but...
Konami!
Konami! That was a cough.
I'd like to go down on the record real quickly. It's still really easy to find Nintendo ROMs. What?
All right.
What was that?
Continue, Carl.
And just with everything going on, it had to come to a close at Project M. Because with Project M out of the way, there really is no mainstream, like, mod anymore for any of the Nintendo games. So, with this, they can basically secure their IPs and start getting, like, of what Square Enix was worried about, the trust back in with other companies.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, Mitchell said, Konami? You mean the company that makes shitty casino games?
Oh.
Oh man, look at all the hype over PT. That means we should totally make a pachinko machine.
All right, before we get too off topic, Jordan, your feelings and opinions on the Project M situation? Because I know you talked a little bit about it.
Sure. It's a bit... Oh, Project... Yeah. It's a bit sad, but honestly, I can't really call it regrettable. I see what the companies were going for in terms of security, and I basically agree with what you just said to sum it up, Carl. Like, since the Let's Players almost embargo by Nintendo for that little while, they just started going down that road, and I don't think it's particularly egregious. I'm not offended by them trying to secure their IPs this way.
Now, let's be completely honest. The reason they're doing this is because Reggie is still salty he lost a Hungry Box at E3.
That's funny. Your face when that's the actual conspiracy.
Oh my god. Phil, what are your thoughts and opinions on it?
Thoughts and opinions on this. I think it's good that Nintendo's starting to control a bit more, even though that some games aren't easily accessible here in America, and were released here in America. I realize that they've always managed to leave Mother alone in some cases because of its crazy prices to buy in cartridge form.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like, can you elaborate a little?
It costs like $200 to get a Mother 3 cartridge. Pretty much anywhere.
Earthbound.
Even in
Mother
Japan?
3.
Yeah,
Not
especially
in Japan. Not in Japan. It's because it was a lot more popular there than it is here.
It's even
Right.
getting scarce in Japan. I read an article on it the other day of how like it goes for at least 200 in Japan now. 200
Okay.
USD.
See, that changes a lot.
The only like indication of the Mother series we ever got here in America was Mother 2, aka Earthbound, on the SNES.
Which, don't get me wrong, that's a fucking great game.
And the fan-made game that should be coming out. They announced that it was going to be released.
Yeah, I know. I've been following that shit, but
Yeah.
Just play Toby Fox's Earthbound ROM hack, whatever it is.
God.
We here at the Weird Kids
but,
support Undertale for best indie game of the year.
But
No,
back
it's
to
Rocket League
Project
because
M.
car soccer.
Do you guys
Sorry,
want to talk
sorry.
about the Game
Project
Awards a
M,
little bit before?
I want to
what
talk
you
about
were saying-
Spike
wait,
Game
guys.
Awards
No.
too.
You were
We've
saying
broken
something,
an
Jeff?
hour. I'm saying back to Project M,
Sure.
which is the topic at hand. It's a damn shame that it had to go out. It's gonna hit the competitive scene's not gonna be real happy about it. But it was a necessary thing on Nintendo's part. And I mean, business is business. And would you rather have a single ROM hack or have it hurt Nintendo and get less actual games?
I'm indifferent.
You're entitled to that.
I feel like it's probably the best decision. As much as
It is the best.
As much as
decision.
I do not like it, it's definitely the smarter decision.
And before USB sticks with Project M go on eBay for thousands of dollars.
Jesus.
Oh,
Oh my God. All right.
the Project M black market emerges.
Ugh.
I think I have an SD card somewhere with Project M on it.
You too. We played it.
All right. So
All right.
now that we're coming to a close,
Mhm.
any regards? Any games you guys want to talk about? Because this is rapid reviews. Let's talk about stuff that you liked this week that you played.
Fallout 4.
I'll give you guys about like how much time we got on the clock. I'm gonna give you guys about 15 seconds to talk about this game that you like. All right,
I
Carl,
got
go.
one. Ruby Grim Eclipse, released this week, out of the blue. If you like hack and slashes, if you like MOBA style leveling, go play it on Steam. It's $15, and it supports like the greatest company in the world.
All right, good. All right, Jeff.
Alright, Just Cause 3, we were talking about it earlier. I had a lot of fun with it, even with its early bugs. And if you like blowing things up and flying through the air, you're going to love this game. Or blowing things up with things that fly in the air.
All right, good. All right, Phil, what do you want?
Fallout 4. 10 out of 10. Best game ever. 4 stars. Zag it.
All right, didn't help at all, Phil, but thank you. All right, Jordan, go.
All I did basically was relapse into Civilization 5, which is the best turn-based strategy ever. So, Beyond Earth, not as good. Don't buy it until they get more honest with how they're fixing it up.
All right, okay. Scott, what did you play this week? Scott, I played a lot of Gauntlet. I really enjoyed it. It's a great cooperative experience. Couch co-op. I feel like you get down a lot with your friends with it. It's a lot of fun. I get to just play a lot of games. I get to kill people. How I'd rate it, I'd probably get about a 7 out of 10. Not that great. I mean, it's good for a good time if you have buddies over, but after that, it's good. All right, that's it. Rapid reviews, everybody.
Medito.
All right. So let's end this.
Yeah, that was
Any
good, Ryan.
closing words, guys?
Have a good
Love
couple
you.
weeks, and we'll see you here in the next couple weeks. And this podcast should be up on YouTube, iTunes, and our website tomorrow.
All right, guys.
And also,
Don't forget-
yeah.
Don't forget to
No,
tip
what's up?
waitresses.
Yeah, and don't forget to play Rocket League. It's the best indie game of the year.
Don't forget to play The Witcher 3. It's the best game of the year. Made
Oh.
by the best developer of the year.
All sarcasm aside,
All right.
I want you
Yes.
guys to take it easy. I'll start playing some Hotline Miami like right after this. All right, guys. We'll see you in a little bit. Take it easy. Peace. Hope you had a good time.
Right.
Penis.
Carl, I hate you.